What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee. I'm back with another Raw review, Raw talk thingy. Back with it. Uh, yeah, I kind of skipped SmackDown. I didn't do it. Work gets me. I close now. So I'm watching the highlights. I tried to watch it the other night, but it's not on the thing. So I probably look through the highlights that they did on WWE YouTube pages, which is what I did for Raw, because again, work late all the night until like 12 o'clock, 12:15 around that area, so I don't get to watch the show anymore. But I did watch the again the highlights on YouTube that they do, and I'm not gonna say it was good, but they had some decent matches. They had some new matchups, some new some storylines and stuff going in. So with that said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share all that good stuff in the book. And I'm just gonna talk about pretty much the how good, bad, or indifferent I am about Raw. What I've been saying about Raw for ever is, as long as they put on decent matches, the show will be fine, because they have a 3-hour window. They have a whole bunch of wrestlers, very good wrestlers, some of the best wrestlers in the entire world. All you gotta do is let them wrestle and let their wrestling speak for themselves, and let them develop characters and stuff like that. Tonight we had 4 or 5 newish matchups. If you count the so we had the Battle Royal, which was all the tag teams, all 5 of the tag teams there. We had a similar storyline going on, but still a fresh matchup. Charlotte and Rhea versus Nikki Cross and the partner of her choosing, which ended up being Asuka. So that was a little fresh matchup. We had Ricochet versus Humberto, which was a new match. We had Mansoor versus Gulak, which was a new matchup. We had Kofi Kingston versus Riddle, which was a new matchup. And then we had Jeff Hardy versus Cedric Alexander, which was a new matchup, and they were all very good. And then we also had Elias and Riker, but there's always that one match we just pretend it doesn't happen. So some of these matches, of course, as always, you kind of wish are longer, because again, you have a 3-hour show. You can fill the 3-hour show. Like Gulak and Mansoor, that could have went on a little longer than it could have went on a little longer. Ricochet versus Humberto could have went on longer and could have had an actual finish. Jackson Riker versus Elias didn't really even have to happen. They could have just not wasted time. They could have just to get out the way. Elias, he came out. He was on his guitar. Back in his old days, WWE stands for Walk with Elias. He was saying that Jackson Riker, he had him. He said that he was that he can tell that he was everything that he was looking for, but never had his back and stuff like that. And then Jackson Riker attacked him, and then they had the match. Elias got the upper hand for a little bit, and then Riker got the upper hand. This match puts me to sleep. And then Elias just gets taken out. He leaves, and Riker wins by countout. So hopefully this feud ends before the crowd comes, because nobody's gonna care. Jackson Riker is now babyface and cut all his hair out. So yep, Jackson Riker is still there. He's still on Raw wrestling. Yep. That's the thing. Also, get this out the way. Drew McIntyre. Oh, I don't even think I watched that part. Oh, it is what it is. Drew McIntyre did a contract signing with Bobby Lashley. I assume that Bobby Lashley didn't come out. Drew McIntyre talked a lot of stuff and probably said, I beat you at Hell in a Cell in Hell in a Cell. Bobby Lashley probably said, I've been beating you left and right all day, and I can even do it in Hell, and I'll beat you at Hell in a Cell. In Hell in a Cell, I don't know, something like that. Paraphrasing, I'm assuming that's around the area that happened, and then I saw that Drew had a sword and he cut the table in half. Yep, that was a thing that happened at the show. Yep. So that's, yeah. Interesting enough, there's a tag team division. There's 6 tag teams, which is pretty good. Good for them. Happy for them. They got six tag teams. I think there was 3 or 4. RK Bro, The New Day, and Viking Raiders came out. We're all out. I think Lindsay Dorado was out there. Grand Metalik wasn't there for whatever reason. And then AJ Almas comes out and they start talking. I'm not sure I was going to say they started talking trash, but I think they were like sarcastically saying nice things about all the tag teams. And then Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods is like, shut up, like, because they were saying good things about them, but then they started saying good things about themselves. So also they're nice and good looking and handsome and dominant and magnanimous and all these words. And then Kofi was like delusional, disingenuous, undigestive, all these bad words that describe them. And then Randy Orton told him to shut up. And then Riddle, oh my God, Riddle's crazy. Riddle had his shirt. He was like, "Hey, I know it's not really hard to do it, but with me and Randy, he was like, you just get the key and you just shut your mouth and then you throw it away and you don't have to talk. That right works with me and Randy. He gave me the key. I unlocked it. He was like, look, and then we got 2 shirts. I'm wearing 2 shirts because Randy, he doesn't wear shirts or pants, so I'm wearing 2 shirts. That's hilarious." Yeah, it was a 5-man battle royal. It was fine. Morrison comes out. They talk about drip, and whatever. They have a little drip gun that they use that Lindsay used got used on by John Morrison. He sprayed whatever that drip water thing is on Lindsay's face, and then he eliminated him. And then he tried to use it on T-Bar and Mace. They caught him, threw him out the ring, and then everybody ganged up on T-Bar and Mace, tossed them both out. Xavier Woods tossed out Matt Riddle. I think both the Viking Raiders took out Xavier Woods. So it was both Viking Raiders, Randy Orton, and Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston had the upper hand on Randy Orton. He's about to hit him with the Trouble of Paradise. Matt Riddle says, "No, I got you," and he hits. He got hit and fits with the Trouble in Paradise instead of Randy Orton, and Randy Orton throws out Xavier Woods. Kofi Kingston, he gets eliminated, and then Viking Raiders both threw out Randy Orton, so both Viking Raiders won, which is talk about the war is on, the raid is on. We got some turkey legs on me, and then AJ was like, "Oh, you talk about this? You was gonna try to celebrate with these turkey legs?" He was talking about them not being real Vikings, even though they have the build for it because they smell, they have poor hygiene, whatever, and it sounded like Eric. I think it was Eric, the bald one. Not the one with the one that's not cute. That one. The one that everybody says is not handsome. Not so much. That guy. I think it's Eric. But he seemed to be not in a good mood, and he was all up in AJ's face. So maybe they might have a one-on-one match next week. So good for the Viking Raiders. They're not going to win, but good for them. I'm happy for them. I assume that they're going to do Lucha House Party versus Miz and Morrison because Miz did say that while they were off doing whatever they were doing, losing to Damian Priest, who's not even on the show. They said that the tag team division needs them, so I'm assuming it's going to be them versus Lindsay and Grand Metalik when they come back. RK Bro is still feuding with whatchamacface, New Day, and I think after that, because they also threw Kofi Kingston in the world title picture with MVP. We'll talk about that in a second. But I'm assuming after the feud with RK Bro and New Day, probably ending at Hell in a Cell, which I'm assuming RK Bro is going to win, then they're going to go on to the tag team titles. They might do them versus T-Bar and Mace, or they might have that saved for the Viking Raiders. They might do something with that. I don't really know, but I assume that maybe at SummerSlam, RK Bro is going to win those tag team titles. So that was good stuff from that. I like that they're at least trying with the tag team division. They are trying. I like that they're trying with the women's division. Nikki Cross gets more screen time. Good for her. Picking up another win, even on the cheeky side. Charlotte Flair wants her loss erased from history to Nikki Cross because it was a fluke, didn't even count, sweep it under the rug. They asked for the match and you lost, so you loser. And then Charlotte was like, "Oh, y'all are jealous of me because I'm so successful and I'm the best. I want the name erased." And then Rhea Ripley comes in, and she's like, as much as I like seeing Charlotte all discombobulated, I think that I want to face Nikki because apparently she didn't really understand the rules of the Beat the Clock challenge, but she wants a real match with her. And I was like, hey, I got an idea. How about you both face Nikki Cross? And it was like 2-on-1 handicap match, easy. It was like, no, it's going to be you two versus Nikki Cross and a partner of her choosing. And she chose Asuka. Very smart choice. Well, I mean, she out here losing to Rhea and Charlotte, so I don't know how smart of a choice it was. But so they chose her. She chose her. And then they had the match. It was good stuff. One-upsmanship is pretty much what you expect. Charlotte tags in, but she chops Rhea in the chest. Rhea is doing a suplex on Nikki Cross. She's waving at Charlotte before she puts her down. And then instead of tagging her, she like roughly pats her on the head. Like, go in there. And they're going back and forth. Nikki Cross hits a drop kick on. It was like a 2-on-1 handicap match because I don't know where Asuka was at the whole match. But Nikki Cross is out there putting the work on Rhea Ripley. And then Charlotte gets in there. She breaks up the count. And she was like, what are you doing? Tag me in. Like, goodness gracious, what are you doing? And then Rhea gets mad. She attacks Charlotte. They attack each other. Nikki Cross is in the corner laughing, having a good old time. Rhea's about to hit a riptide on Charlotte. Charlotte reverses, claps the calves muscles, and then she hits her with a natural selection. Nikki Cross goes for the cover, pins Rhea Ripley 1-2-3. She wins. Her and Asuka are celebrating on the announce table like they literally just won the tag team titles. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, hey, they're doing something with the women, so you can't complain. It's trash, but it is what it is. The good stuff, like I said, they had different matches, which is good. You had Sheamus versus Ricochet, or just kidding, Humberto versus Ricochet. Very good. This was good stuff. They did a flipping Spanish fly from the apron. That looked fantastic. That was great. Yeah, they was going back and forth. The winner faced Sheamus for the U.S. title, and they both got counted out. So yeah, so I don't know what was the point of that. And I assume that they're going to have another one next week, and then Sheamus is going to interfere in that match, and then it's just going to make it a triple threat match, which is probably what they should have did from this week. But then again, even that wouldn't have made sense because whenever Hell in a Cell is, which is in like 2 weeks or maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then we would have tried to find a way for them to get the threat match because they'll probably do another match because obviously that one match didn't end well, and then they'll have a winner. I don't know. It would have been weird. They should have just had somebody win. They should have, like, in my mind, I'd have been like, just have Ricochet win. Humberto's becoming this unhinged type of thing because he wants to win so badly. I would say have Ricochet win, shake hands, but then Humberto was like he's still mad, and then Sheamus versus Ricochet next week or whenever pay-per-view. Humberto like gets involved to help Sheamus wins, and then he attacks Ricochet, and then they have a feud, and then Sheamus does his feud. That's what I would have did, but I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. They're probably gonna have another rematch, and Sheamus is gonna get involved, and they're gonna do a triple threat match. So it is what it is. But the match was good for what it was, so we commend him for that. Sheamus was out here looking like old school Cody with the mask, the disfigured Cody Rhodes, which was a good Cody Rhodes. So, and then he was laughing at the end. He was like, "How these Muppets trying to take my title? They can't even finish a match." Also, good stuff is Cedric and Jeff Hardy. They had a good, solid match. Cedric talking that trash to Jeff Hardy as well as he knows how. He used to be a legend, but come on, man, you old washed up with the drugs and stuff. And then they had a good match, and then Jeff Hardy won, Twisted Fate, Swanton Bomb. The Carolina boy from what part of is it Raleigh? I think it's Raleigh. That doesn't sound right. Sure. Cameron, North Carolina. Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, that was good stuff. That was all good stuff. Jeff Hardy and Cedric. So I assume that Cedric is gonna probably attack Jeff Hardy and then continue that feud, which is good stuff. Because get Cedric a win, a big win over Jeff Hardy. So that'd be good. Maybe at the pay-per-view or something like that. Then we had Mansoor versus Gulak again. Another fresh match. I guess Gulak was tired of losing to Angel Garza. Mustafa Ali came in, was pretty much like, hey, watch yourself out there against Gulak. Gulak be cheating, so just make sure you just make sure you out there doing what you got to do. And then nobody thought that he was telling the truth. Ali's watching from the back. They're having a solid match. Little text going in there at first, and then Drew Gulak was trying a whole bunch of pin combinations. It wasn't working. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" And then he tried to go for the tights. He tried to roll him up to cheat. Mansoor reversed that for the 1-2-3. He wins. And everybody was like, "Oh, maybe Mustafa Ali was right all along." So maybe they might do a tag team or a mentor type thing. I don't know, but whether they're a tag team or opponent, Mustafa and Mansoor is going to be really good. So we're going to enjoy that. Next up, the final match. Oh, before I even throw in that, Eva Marie is going to debut next week. Said that she's going to debut with either Mercedes Martinez or Viper. Why not both? Do both. As long as Eva Marie actually is decent in the ring, somewhat decent in the ring, like have her go against Naomi, and they have a solid 5-6 minute match. Maybe nothing bad happens. Eva Marie's out here; she's proven herself, and then maybe Mercedes or maybe Viper comes out, boom, attacks her at first, and then you get Mercedes in there, and then you have a tag team, and then you get Nia Jax in there because they're family and stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know, but I wouldn't mind Viper bigging up Eva Marie because Viper's great, and heel Viper might be fantastic. It will be fantastic. Yeah, that's happening next week. And then Kofi Kingston versus Matt Riddle because of the Trouble in Paradise to over the rope type thing. So that was a thing. So this was the main match event. Again, fantastic because fantastic wrestlers are wrestling. Um, Before that, I don't know if it was before or after, but MVP and Kofi had a little talk. Woods and Kofi was talking about something about painting somebody. I don't know what's going on, but it caught up with MVP. He was like, "Hey, MVP, my man, Lashley let you out. You know, you got to be able to talk. Let you off the leash." And he's like, that's actually really funny. And then he pretty much it got real because he talked about his WWE his win. He was like, "Man, I was so proud of you at Kofi Mania." You know, it was like because you might not know this, but like your win, made me get the urge to come back because us, the people like us, Wakanda Forever, had that was champion, and so he kind of disappointed me. He was like, I thought I saw like spurts of Kofi Mania last week against Drew, and then saw it again today. I don't know if he meant the match against Riddle. He probably meant the match against Riddle or against in the tag team match. Like I saw glimpses of that. He said, but you did something, and that was shake Drew's hand after you lost, and that just shows me that you're always going to be a loser. Kofi Kingston talks back and he talks about him only care about his friends and his family's opinion. He said MVP is the last person that he would want to take advice from. Says that he does it because of there's kids who watch the show and they watch it every week and be like, man, I could be just like him. The Kofi made it a baby face thing that he did. He's like, oh well, that's what's Drew in for it for the girls, for the money. He was for the girls. He was like, no, he's in it, to be WWE champion, the best, all reigning, almighty WWE champion, and stuff like that. So yeah, that was cool. That was really really good. And Kofi had a match with Matt Riddle. Like I said, it was very good because Matt Riddle and Kofi Kingston could wrestle really well. New Day come out and then Riddle comes out by himself. They do a little couple of moves, and then Xavier Woods, he was on distracts Matt Riddle, and then that's when Randy Orton comes out. He comes down the ramp. He's like, Xavier Woods, don't you dare! And then Woods is like, hey, I'm just here. And then boom, baseball slide to Kofi Kingston. He goes back in the ring, and then Xavier Woods is like, that's what you get, sucker. And then Randy Orton comes from behind, boom, hits him with the the suplex on the thing, and then Matt Riddle is with Orton and Kofi Kingston, boom, does the over the top thing, and again they just have a good match. Kofi Kingston does his high spot with the thing on Matt Riddle. He's on the rope and he jumps on your back and stuff like that. Death lifts and stuff like this. This is good stuff. The interesting stuff comes at the end when he comes. Matt Riddle gets that vicious Orton style. He's getting there. He's on the announce table and he's laying kicks and forearms at Matt Riddle. He knees Kofi Kingston in the face, kind of V trigger like on the ropes, and then he's like, hey, watch this, Randy, watch this. He does the Orton thing and boom, hits him with a DDT, and Randy Orton is hype. People like, yes. He's like, okay, now finish him. Finish Kofi Kingston, former world champion. Finish him now. And then Matt Riddle gets overzealous. He was like, before I finish him, I gotta. Hey. He does the thing. He does the Orton thing, and then Randy Orton's like, please don't do this. No, don't do it. No, it's Kofi Kingston. Don't do. And then he tries to do the RKO. He reverses it. He tries to do the Trouble in Paradise. Matt Riddle reverses it. I think he's going to reverse into a Bro Derek. And then Randy Orton's like, oh, maybe he might got him. And then Kofi Kingston gets out of that, ducks. Boom, hold that. Trouble in Paradise. 1, 2, 3. Kofi wins. Randy Orton's like, you stupid stupid child. So they're going to probably go back to the drawing board. And Randy was like, man, you had him, and you tried to do my move. This is why you don't do the RKO. I do the RKO. And he's probably going to get mad at him and stuff like that. So they're probably going to challenge him to a tag team match at Hell in a Cell, which would be great stuff. Which RK Bro will probably win. They'll probably gel better together with a win over New Day. And then they'll probably have another feud with maybe T-Bar and Mace or Viking Raiders before they get to AJ and Omos. Or maybe they might just have those two at Money in the Bank and then have a rematch at SummerSlam and win. I don't know. But yeah, that was great stuff. That was all good stuff. And then the main event. I personally liked it. I didn't think it was anything bad. Alexa's Playground. Alexa comes out. She's talking with Lily. Shayna Baszler. She comes out and pretty much Alexa's like, hey, we don't mind being friends with you. All you gotta do is just apologize to Lily. And she's like, I think Nia and Shayna was doing a backstage thing about her being crazy. She's like, I can handle her. Don't worry about her. Shayna Baszler, you want me to apologize to a doll? You want Queen of Spades, me, to apologize to doll, to this thing? And Alexa Bliss is like, yes, exactly. She's like, you are nuts. And she's like, it's not even, it's you. You're the one that's doing this. You're the one that's putting the fire on Reginald. You're the one that cost me and Nia Jax the tag team championships while we're not champions now. She's like, man, I would never do that, silly Gouda. Just apologize. And then Shayna takes the doll, and then her eyes gets gray again. He was like, I'm sorry, you're stupid doll. You're stupid. And she throws it. And then Alexa Bliss attacks her. Shayna Baszler kind of like throws her out the ring. And she puts her foot on Lily, and then she stomps on it. And then as soon as she does that, like the lights go crazy and stuff like that. And she goes. Alexa Bliss is just like laughing, and it turns into like a sort of one of those compound type things, cinematic things. She goes backstage. Everything's all spooky. Everything's glowing. She's going crazy. She's going delusional. She's trying to lock everything, and then she turns around. She looks in the mirror, and Lily's like right there looking at her. But then she turns around, but Lily's not there. But she turns back around again, but Lily's still there. She's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is all in my head. And then she kicks the window, and she acts all scared and terrified. And she's like, oh my god. And I think this is good. People don't like it, but I think it's good. Like, up until now, there really hasn't been no character of Shayna Baszler. She hasn't really shown any emotion and stuff like that. And I, again, like I said, I've said this before, I hope that as this was for, when everybody faces the Fiend or Bray Wyatt Fiend, they turn into their opposite or something like that. They turn, to their old ways. So I hope this feud with Shayna would do the same, or this feud with Shayna's doing with Alexa Bliss and Lily. I hope it does the same thing for Shayna. I hope it turns her back into the Queen of Spades, back in her murder days when she was NXT Women's Championship. And I hope she attacks Nia after this, attacks Reggie, and then she has her match, and then she goes on to be Raw Women's Champion because she deserves it. She's great. But I like that they're showing this different side, and there was nothing bad about it. I think it was good acting skills from Shayna Baszler, because obviously she can wrestle very well, but showing a different side of her, I think is pretty cool. So overall, I'd give the show probably a B minus, from at least trying something different on the show. We got, like I said, the main event was fine. They got Kofi versus Riddle, Hardy versus Cedric, Gulak versus Mansoor, Ricochet versus Humberto. You had the tag team matches and stuff like that. We pretend that we never saw Jackson Riker and Elias. That never happened. I just honestly just wish a lot of the matches were longer. But that was really it. What you guys think of the show? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.